Isaiah.
Yeah?
Quick thoughts on The Roommate.
Oh, yeah. They should have called it Deja Vu. Sounded a lot like a movie. Single white female. Sounds a lot creepier than The Roommate.
Yeah.
Hey guys, movie review show from the University of Houston by people who love movies, for people who love movies.
At the end of the show, we're going to give our own ratings. Isaiah's going to give a letter rating, and I'm going to give a number rating. They are in no way correlated, so our own personal opinions.
Introductions, I'm Isaiah Peña.
And I'm Sophia Pereira. This is
The Roommate.
The Roommate is set in present-day college, where Sarah Matthews, the protagonist, finds that her roommate, Rebecca, the antagonist, has become quite obsessed with her. And the obsession, it keeps going, scene over scene, as Rebecca becomes more and more obsessed with her and overly protective of her roommate.
Yeah. The plot, very basic, very subpar, but it's all the stuff around it and the way the screenplay was written that doesn't make this film one to basically talk about. I don't know.
It was so typical. I mean, nothing was a surprise, even though it was supposed to be a suspense movie. Nothing was suspenseful.
There was no suspense.
Not at all. You saw everything.
It wasn't even funny either. That was a weird thing. Usually when it comes to these types of movies, people find it funny, but it just the way the cinematography was, the way the direction was taken, it almost seemed just really bland.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, just the storyline itself, it just wasn't a surprise to me. Everything was so typical.
Our antagonist, played by Leighton Meester.
Leighton
Meester. All she does is she's not even a threatening character, and it's her job to be the character that makes you very uncomfortable. But the fact is, you just get this hour and a half of this girl mean mugging everyone, and
I did feel uncomfortable. I mean, I thought she did have that weirdness to her, because although she started out the movie with the whole mean mugging and all the bad stuff that she did, I was kind of creeped out by her. I mean, I was kind of surprised at her acting, just because I've seen her in Gossip Girl and I saw previews for the country song. I mean, I would usually find her in one of those girly movies and a really girly character, but this character, it kind of caught me off guard. I didn't know if she could pull it off. I have no real problems with the acting. I thought the acting wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. Really, I have a problem with everything but the acting. So.
The acting was basic, junior high school theater. I mean, no, not even that. It was basically your typical subpar C+ acting.
What kind of bothered me, I feel like this screenplay was copied almost directly from Single White Female. So there were no changes. There really weren't any changes. So when Alison Mashaka's character, when the things happened with her, I thought, why didn't she go for help? Why didn't she tell someone? Why didn't she do something? But I think it's the screenplay itself that didn't allow her to. It didn't allow the story to be completely real.
Yeah, when it comes to stories like horror or suspense, the screenplay kind of matters, or a screenplay matters wherever, but it just feels like our screenwriter saw a Single White Female, memorized it in his head, and then he didn't even write it down. He just went to the director and was like, hey, let's make a movie. And even though that really bothered me, that wasn't the biggest problem I had. The biggest problem I had was these suspense scenes, these scenes that get you and make you feel like, oh, why'd they do that? And oh my gosh, they were forced. None of those stuff. She didn't really have to do any of that stuff. Even with the problem that she has or whatever, the way she is. There's a scene where she has where they have that cat or whatever.
Yeah. And
what she does to deal with the cat, it's almost like, why did you do that? There was a much easier thing to do that would have I don't know. It was forced. In my opinion, once you get with The Roommate, is a very bland, subpar type movie, and it's totally destroyed by its screenplay and direction, because there's I have to add this one scene that really bugged me. There was a camera angle that was used that did not have to be used.
I have to talk about camera angles too, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff for okay, she's walking down this hallway and then, oh wait, all of a sudden she's tilted 90 degrees. I don't really know what that means. It probably didn't really mean anything, but probably the audience was really bored about watching a girl walk down a hallway that they had to like do something like that.
I think it was kind of a fill in the blank.
Yeah, and it was too drastic of a fill in the blank. But I guess that matched with everything else the roommate did.
I think that they used way too many close-ups. You know, they were closing up like right on the face, and not the entire time, but most of the time, I was like, why is it so close? Why can't the camera just back up for a second and show everything? Yeah. I just felt like it was too close all the time.
I guess that was basically the director's take on trying to make you feel uncomfortable. So maybe it got you, but
it wasn't that uncomfortable. Like, I understand what you're trying to say, the whole uncomfortable part, and I wish I had felt that uncomfortableness, because then I would kind of be okay with the movie, because that's what the movie's supposed to do. But it was this other kind of uncomfortableness. I was just like, why are they even doing that? I just didn't understand why the close-up was used so much. That's all.
All right, so ratings. Let's go.
Ratings.
Your number rating. Let's hear what it is.
All right, number rating. I give it a 6.
It's like 6 flat?
Just 6 flat, 6.0.
All right.
6.0.
Okay, so me, like I said earlier, roommate, typical, destroyed by the directing and the screenplay. For me, it comes out as a solid D. I'm Isaiah Peña.
And I'm Sophia Pereira.
And this is
The Roommate.
Bye, guys.
Hello? You're a bad influence on her.